So how'd you get into hip hop and what introduced you to it?
When I first got into hip hop, I was in summer camp and I was walking by this TV screen. And it was like a bunch of people that always sit down and watch like music videos and stuff like that. And Naughty by Nature, Feel Me Flow was on the TV screen. And it was a really cool video. They were in the snow, they were like on snowboards and shit. It was really cool. And when I heard like the flows and the way the beats were and everything, I was like, what is this? Like, I have to find out more about this. So after that, I was hanging out with one of my friends. He was from Chicago. And he put me on like Busta Rhymes and like all these different artists. And from there, I just started learning more and more about like which artists are working with which artists, and then you learn through like features of different features and stuff, and that's how you learn about more hip hop artists. And then I started going coast to coast, and I was a big Tupac fan and everything. Like that's how I really started getting into music, like as far as hip hop goes.
I see marijuana is very popular in today's society of music. How old were you say when you had your first joint, and how did it make you feel afterwards?
When I was 14, I was uh, I was with my friends, and we just got off the bus, and we met this kid. His name was Mike, and he rolled. He had a tinfoil bowl, right? And he put some weed in it, and we smoked it in his porch. And I was with one of my best friends, and we got high as shit. Like they say, the first time you don't get high, bullshit. We got high as shit, and we went back to his house, back to my friend's house, and we saw like a tiny blue ghost on the wall going up and down and side, and like I thought I was just tripping. I thought I was like making it up, but I look over at him. I'm like, "Do you see that?" He's like, "Yeah, it's like a tiny ghost going up and down, side and side on the wall." And we're like, "Damn!" Like we're both seeing this shit. So yeah, that was that was a good time, man.
Yeah, that sounds trippy. With most artists doing shows and everything, I'm sure you've done shows. What's your craziest moment on stage that you can remember?
Craziest moment was when I first went out on stage, and I told myself, I've seen artists do this for years. I was like, I've seen a lot of open mic artists get on stage, and they wouldn't be that good. They just had no crowd participation, the confidence wasn't there. And I was like, when I go on stage, I have to snap out of it. I have to be on something. Like I have to make sure that I'm gonna rock this crowd no matter what, because I've seen it done. So when I went out there, I was like, fuck it, confidence through the roof. And I was just like, when I say RK, y'all say A, RKA. And like people were saying it, and I was like, oh my God, they're actually saying this shit? Like, that's crazy. And I was like, all right, this is it. And then I just ripped it the whole night, and I was making them say whatever I wanted to make them say. This was in UCF, man, like when I went to college out there at Brooklyn Brothers. That was a good time, man. Like,
Yeah, man. I saw your last music video. It's pretty dope. I got a reference though. I got a question because I heard it on a song. What does it mean when you say beat the box? Let the people know what you mean by that when you say beat the box, because that's something new. I've never heard that
I
before.
mean, beat the box is sex. At the end of the day,
That's what you call it, a box?
the box is what they. I mean, that's from hip hop video or not hip hop videos. That's from hip hop songs and stuff. Like they call it the box, and then that's where I got it from. Is beat the box. It's just pussy. At the end of the day, like that's what it really is.
That's what it is. What's the most relevant artist right now to you that's out doing their thing, whether it's local and in the game? Who are you idolizing right now? Who you liking?
Local, not so much. Um, there's some guys out there that I listen to, but nobody really that like sticks out like that. But as far as like industry wise, J.Cole is like my favorite artist right
Yeah.
now. That new album he dropped, that was like just the way he talked about his mom with the alcohol problems. He talked about what's going on in the hood and shit. Like he just talked about a bunch of different things that I haven't heard other artists touch on that deep. And the thing I love about him so much is he's a lot like me, is that like when he talks about something, he'll go really descriptive about it, and he's very honest with it. And that's what I've always done with my music. So it's like I feel like a connection with him.
That's what it is. Well, everybody talks about the cliche. We don't want to compare artists because you know there's artists like the Migos and everybody out there doing that thing. Let us know where you stand in hip hop and what sets you apart from the type of music that's being released today.
Well, that's the thing. Like everybody's releasing, like they're all trying to follow a certain trend, and I'm not trying to follow that trend. I could rap over trap beats, and I'm starting to get into that. I'm gonna start doing that more because I'm learning my flows, I'm learning my delivery, I'm learning all that shit. But I still keep it lyrical at the end of the day, and that's the biggest thing. Is like you listen to a lot of these other guys, and I like it. I'll turn up, I'll do all that shit, you know, especially when I drink. But when it comes down to it, like I just can't make like a simple track. I can't make something that I'm gonna sit there and go, I would not listen to that. You know, I want something that I'm gonna listen to myself because if I'm not feeling it, how the fuck am I gonna get people to feel it? You know?
Yeah, makes sense. So, you know, today's term, everybody likes to get lit. What does RKA do to get lit? What's your definition of lit?
Ross does a bunch of stuff. I don't know if Ross should go into everything that he does, but
just give us something. It's something that you know.
Ross likes to drink craft beers. Ross is a really big craft beer drinker. RKA, Ross Christopher Abraham. It's RKA, Ross Christopher Abraham, because I do me all day, every day. You'll never catch me on a track talking about face shit or anything like that. But Ross likes to drink craft beers. And when I say craft beers, it's not like your Michelob or your Budweiser or anything like that. This is like Due South, like all the breweries and stuff like that, where you get they'll infuse different flavors into the beer that you're not used to having. Like I had like a bacon maple porter or something like that, you know. Yes. And you can't go to like any gas station and say, hey, let me get a bacon maple porter. Like that's not a thing. But it tastes like maple syrup, bacon, and a porter is a different type of beer. And once you get into that world and your palate starts opening up to it, it's very good.
So that's lit. Yeah. Okay.
And each beer is like 9% alcohol, like 7 to 9%, instead of like the other ones. I think they're like 5.6 or something like that. So like that, you'll get fucked up really quick, or you'll get lit.
Okay. Hey, I got some of your tracks that you emailed me, and I like a lot of them. What does Colorado mean to you? What inspired Colorado?
Colorado, I went out to Colorado and I ate 3 edibles, and or not 3 edibles. I bought a thing of cookie edibles, and I ate 3 cookies before I hit the mountains. And this is my first time skiing ever. I've never been on the snow or anything like that before. So we went out there. I ate 3 edibles. I got high as shit, and in the beginning of the song, I said, ate 3 edibles, hit the mountains, coins in the water, wishing fountains. You know, like coins in the wishing fountain. Like I'm wishing for fountains because I need water, because I'm so high right now and I'm so dehydrated and it's so cold that like I can't breathe. You see what I'm saying? And I started going down and I fell to the point where like they came over and tried to help me. And they couldn't help me. I kept like, I would be on the ski and I would try to like move this way and I kept like going down the slope. And like, no, don't go down the slope. And I was like, oh. So eventually they sent somebody else out there for me, and he came over and he brought me in a toboggan. And toboggan's like one of those like sleds that you had from back in the day that people go down the mountain with.
Right.
So he puts me in the toboggan and I'm sitting there and I'm just sitting in the back and he's on a snowboard and he's like just flying down this thing, going like 30, 40 miles per hour. And I'm just sitting there like, ah, and like snow's flying in my face and shit. I'm like, ah, like, yeah. So like that's where that song came from. And it was just, I like doing double entendres. So okay. I said, I'm out in Colorado getting lifted. I'm talking about getting lifted, like smoking weed, but I'm also talking about in a ski lift, you know, because when
Makes
you
sense.
go up in the ski lift, you're really high in the air. You're really high in the air. Your legs are hanging and shit. So I'm talking about that. And so the first verse is about actual skiing and being on the ski lift and stuff like that. And then the second verse is about going to the clinics out there where you could buy weed, you could buy cookies. And I start touching on like the sodas that I had and the brownies that I had and all these different types of marijuana products that I had. And
it's like the marijuana capital of the world.
Yeah,
like,
man. Besides Amsterdam. Amsterdam's the greatest.
I got you. Well, a lot of people don't know this. I know you, and I've gotten to meet your dad recently, and your dad is cool as shit.
Yeah.
Tell me what's the wildest experience that you experienced hanging out with your dad?
God, the wildest experience I've experienced. I wouldn't go into the wild experience I've experienced hanging out with him, because I mean he's done some shit with like guitars, like he'll do like air guitars and stuff like that and just play for hours. But there's some shit he told me when he was younger that I was not around for, where he did a lot of acid, right? And he was on a rooftop with his friends and he had a stereo in his hand and they were jumping from rooftop to rooftop on acid
The
while
hell?
listening to stereo.
And he's still alive to talk about it.
Still alive to talk about it. Oh shit. Or there was another story where he was he caught a game-winning catch when he used to play high school football before he got shot in the leg. He caught a game-winning catch and he got hit so hard that he got knocked out and he woke up in the hospital. And when he woke up in the hospital, they're like, "We won!"
Oh my god, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
So what's the deal like in the studio, man? What's the new music coming on? What's RKA like in the studio? What are you working on? Let the people know, where you going with this.
I got a lot of stuff coming. I've really come into my own recently. I've learned how to tap into what I really want to talk about, and basically I'm working with new beats. I'm testing myself. I'm challenging myself. I want to see what kind of beats I can ride over, what kind of beats I can't ride over, and then if I can't ride over, I want to find out why I can't ride over them and how I'm gonna accomplish that shit. Like just keep moving forward with it and just get better. Because I like Jay-Z a lot. He's a really good artist, and he could rap over any type of beat. So it's like when people say like, "Oh, back in the day, be like, oh, you can't rap over this type of beat because you don't know how to get." Fuck that. I want to know how to rap over that type of beat. I want to make sure I know how to do that. If Jay-Z could do it, I could do it too.
Yeah, no limitations.
So it's like when I get in there, I drink, I smoke, and sometimes I don't. And it's just a matter of like tapping into your brain. There's one kid, Jamal was his name. He told me that, Jamal Weatherspoon, I think his name is. He told me that there's certain people that could tap into their brain and tap into their feelings when they're actually doing music and their delivery's gonna come out correctly. And this is like 5 years ago. I didn't even know what he was talking about at the time. And then there's other people that have to get like really fucked up in order to do it. And like I wanted to learn how to do it on all levels. And now it's like I know how to do it fucked up. I know how to do it sober. So I think about that kind of shit. When people tell me stuff over the years and they say like, hey, this is how you do this, or this is how you do that. Like I actually listen to it and I'm like, damn, like I want to accomplish what you're telling me to accomplish, and I'll just keep working it and it'll stay on my mind, and eventually I'll just pick up on it, and next thing you know it, I'm doing it, and it's like the proudest moment ever.
Yeah, good deal. Who you want to work with, man? Anybody in the future you want to work with?
I would love to work with J.Cole, obviously, because it's like my favorite artist right now.
Who wouldn't? J.Cole's the man, right? So.
Exactly. There's a guy named Castle Calhoun. He's in Deerfield. I like to work with him one day. I like where his mind is at. Local artists, not so much. That guy, yes. But mostly, I'd like to just meet up with Nas. I'd like to work with Kanye one day. I know, obviously, all the shit he's saying right now, whatever. But as far as like the musical side of him, he's a genius, and I'd love to just sit in the studio with him and watch how he works and everything, and just pick his brain and understand like how he got to where he got to. J.Cole, Kanye, Jay-Z, obviously, Nas for sure. I said Dave East would be really cool.
Yeah, Dave East is definitely popping right now.
Yeah, he the thing I love about him, I respect his grind, I respect his work ethic, because he's just constantly putting out videos and he speaks his mind, and he grew up listening to a lot of the influences that I listen to, and that's what I love about those kind of rappers so much. As far as the sound, I mean, I'd like to meet up with Lil Wayne one day just to see what that's like. That would be kind of cool, actually.
That sounds like it'd be dope.
Yeah, like, because all these people at the end of the day, like, people say like, oh, they make this kind of music, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, like, they love music, and you got to come together with artists like that love music. You can't just hate on people because they make a different type of music that you don't like. Okay, fuck it, like that you don't like it.
Makes sense.
Who cares? But at the end of the day, they're where they're at because they love this shit. At the end of the day, and I like artists that love music. So anybody who loves music, I would like to just be in that situation and enjoy that environment,
I
basically.
got you, man. Before we get out of here, what's in the works for RKA? Any projects coming out? You working on singles, videos? What's in the works right now? I know artists don't like to tell what's cooking in the pot, but give us a little bit to look forward to. What's coming up next?
There's going to be videos coming out. There's going to be a lot more videos coming out. Over the years, I haven't had the consistency. Now I got it. I'm ready to fucking do this shit. I worked with a lot of people that they weren't ready to do what I wanted to do, so we just went nowhere. I drop a video, and then like a year later, I drop another video. We're not doing that anymore. We're dropping videos all the time. I'm not going to tell you when they're coming out, but just know they're coming.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
there's always that spoiler.
I mean, yeah, just know they're coming out, and I'm working on a project too. So I'm gonna have a bunch of songs coming out. I'm gonna release singles here and there, and there's gonna be a project in the works too. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. I don't want to go too deep into it. I might know what I'm calling it, but I don't want to tell you yet. But it's coming. Just know.
Well, hey man, you just keep doing your thing. Appreciate you for coming out for the interview. Don't be no stranger, man. We want to see you back in a couple months after you get a nice body of work done. Come back by and see us, all right?
We can definitely come back and see you.
All right, bro. We're going to holler at you later. Before we go, tell the people where they can find you socially.
If you look up The Real RKA, TheReal RKA, look at The Real RKA. If you look that up, you'll find me. If you go to YouTube, YouTube's the most important right now because that's where the videos are coming. Look up RKA Music. If you just look that up, RKA Music, Ross Christopher Abraham, Christopher with a K. If you look that up, RKA Music, you'll find all my videos that are coming out. And just put it like this: we're gonna have like 7 or 8 more videos before the year's over. That's all I'm gonna say right now. And then as far as like Instagram at The Real RKA, Twitter at The Real RKA, all those different handles. So check me out. And that's it.
That's what it is, man. You live in the building with The Real RKA. We gonna holler at y'all later. Any final words, my brother?
I'm just ready for this year, man. I can't wait to see where it takes me. I want to travel. I want to do a lot of shit. I'm excited for this. Everything's coming in motion. It's all about timing, the right person, right time. It's working out.
Y'all heard it live from the man himself. We out of here. Thanks for stopping by, RKA. We hope to see you again soon, man.
You'll see me.
All right, peace.